That's the sound of money. Fresh, printed money.
Hello, welcome to Canadian Financial Health. If you live in the Western world, then you know having a great credit is key. Unless you're a millionaire or a billionaire where you buy everything on cash, then I guess you don't really care about your credit. But for the rest of us, working class and anyone trying to achieve a goal or do something for themselves, you will need a loan at some point from the bank or from somewhere to where you can start to grow your business or whatever you're doing. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 steps where you can use to help bring your credit up. Doesn't matter where you are with your credit, whether you're in collections or you're around the 500 trying to get to the 700, or even say you really want to aim high and try to get to 900. These 5 steps will help you, or you will get something out of it that will help you get your credit score to where you want it to be. Before we start the video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. That will help me grow my channel. Also subscribe, so every time I put up a video like this, which will help you, educate you further when it comes to your finances, you should consider subscribing. So step number 1 is calling up your creditors. So this one is for someone who's already in the collection agency where you're getting a lot of calls every day, them trying to collect their money from you. Then this step is for you. And there's people around where they say they can consolidate your credits for you, but they will do it for you. Who knows what kind of result they're going to get for you. At the same time, you have to pay them to do this for you. But why don't you do it yourself? You can do the same thing you're doing. You don't have to pay nobody. You're doing it yourself. So I guess you're paying yourself. But it's a simple way of doing it is call whoever your creditor is, whoever is calling you. Pick up the phone and talk to them. Don't hide behind the phone, say they're annoying you, because the longer they keep it for, the more they're burying your credit in the negative part. So how does this happen anyways? First of all, let me back up a little bit and explain why you be getting calls from creditors that, your credit's in collection. So say you own a bank $5,000 and you don't pay them for a while. Say you don't pay them for 4 months. They keep calling you, you're not making no payments. So what happens at this point is they kind of have no choice. So what they do is they bring your credit. Basically, when I say credit, the money, they bring it to auctions, and other companies are there willing to bid on it. So they will sell it to the highest bidder. And say the same $5,000 that you're supposed to pay them, they will take it to auction. Somebody might buy it for, say, $1,500, $2,000. And with the bank, they agree to take the money because they already have insurance to get back their $5,000 anyways. So the new person, whoever owns your credit now, is the people calling you down every day. And they stand the chance of not getting anything from you, and they will lose money. So you're in a great position to negotiate with them at this point. So when they do call you, do pick up the phone and talk to them and say you owe $5,000. You wouldn't know how much they paid for, but try to get a feel of it, negotiate with them. Instead of paying them $5,000, if you have, say, $2,000 sitting around, you can offer them, say, I can make a payment of $2,000 today if you're willing to take that and just cancel the rest of the $3,000. I'm paying you the $2,000 today. And they might agree or may not agree, but at least it will give you a chance where you stand. Maybe they said no, maybe pay us $2,500. And at that point, if you want, you can still pay the $2,000 and pay them the $500 later, maybe make 3 payments of the $500, or even if you don't have the money, you can still negotiate with them and make payments for it. But when you do get this chance, make sure you do, I can't stress this enough, make sure you do pay it off, because this is going to help you moving in a positive direction from here on. So that's number 2. And number 3, credit utilization. If you have a credit card of, say, $1,000 on there, don't go past $500. Every time you get to 500, anyway. By the way, you're not even supposed to be having any balance on your credit card, but I do understand things happen. You lose your job, something comes up, yeah, okay. So just don't go past the 500, but always make sure, if you're not going to pay it off, make your minimum payment. That's the basic, you have to make it, the minimum payment. It's not good to make a minimum payment, but if that's what you have, make sure you make the minimum payment. The more minimum payment you pay, the more the bank, whoever will be loving you off, because you're going to be paying forever, basically, because what you're doing is just paying off the interest. So if you could, just pay it all off, and that'd be great. And if you can't pay, just stay at 50% utilization. You don't want to go way over, because that's not helping your credit. Just say at least halfway. That will help you out. So number 4 is, say your credit's really, really bad and nobody wants to give you a credit card at this point. There are some secure cards at some companies in Canada. One I know for sure is Capital One. They will give you a credit card for you to rebuild your credit. So what they do is they'll do like a soft check. Soft check doesn't really take that much hit off your credit compared to when they do the hard. They do actual fully search on your credit where you take a hit. So the soft search is to get a secure one. They'll pre-approve you and they'll work with you. Sometimes you might be able to approve for $500 or whatever it is. It's going to be something small, because at this point nobody's really willing to work with you, but they are willing to work with you. And there's been cases where you still don't qualify. They will even ask you to put your own money on there, like $300 to $500 or $1,000, depending on what it is. You can put on there. At this point, you burn your own money from yourself, but do not worry about it, because it's helping you to build your credit at this point. And if you search around, you can even find some of them where you even get points to do when you buy gas and other stuff. That'll still help you. You're gaining all this access at the same time, being able to get points and build your credit at the same time, especially when it's MasterCard where you can use it anywhere. So it's great. If they ask you to do that, and that's if you're on the rock bottom, like I always say, every step you take is a leg up. So you should really take opportunity of that and use it. And that will help you build your credit. Even though they might say you have $300 something a year and a half, from a year, 6 months to a year, you might get to $1,000 or $2,000 at that point, because at this point, if you're using and paying, they're credible now. So they'll be able to trust you and give you more on your credit. They'll get to a point where they give you more than you put in, and in no time, your credit will be getting up there. That should be regular for you now. Okay. 5, but not last, is when you do have that credit card at this point now, and you're trying to build your credit, because if your credit is that bad, everything you do from here on, if you want to do groceries, go do groceries. If you want to buy gas, food, whatever you're trying to do, make sure when you have the money to pay for it, don't use the money. Use up your credit card to do all your purchases. And right after, when you get home, it's simple. This little smartphone, you can just go on your phone and make the payment. Say you spend $50 today doing groceries. Make sure when you get home, you pay the $50 on your credit card. And making all these purchases in time is making it seem like, okay, this person here really got control of their spending. They're spending and paying off right away. And that will also help you build up your credit. And if you do all these 5 things in time, like 3 to 6 months time, you see a big improvement in your credit. And another last thing you can do is also make sure you have the right job on your credit score. This actually happened to me. I was way done school, and I was working, and I was making good money. At the same time, when I check every time I check my credit, it says that I'm a student on there. And since I live in Canada, the 2 credit unions here is Credit Union and Equifax. So I actually went down to the Equifax office and I talked to them. I said, okay, how come it's saying that I'm a student on here? And that was actually holding me back, because if you're a student, say you're a full-time student, the most you can do is get a part-time job. And how much money can you really make in a year, really, for them to be boosting up your credit score, saying that, okay, you're making this amount of money, so it's able to do more stuff and purchase and pay more things back, right? So that should be holding you back. So make sure you have the right job on there. And that should, if you can do all these 5 things, that should bring up your credit within 3 to 6 months, no problem. And always make sure you keep an eye on your credit, because these days, all this identity theft and all this stuff going on, that you don't want anybody else to mess up for you something you're working so hard to improve on. So don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.